I see by the clock it's 12:18 here in Fort St. John. You're the last passengers in the terminal, and tomorrow's a very big day. What are your thoughts going into Fort St. John, Dawson Creek, and the area?
Well, from my perspective, I think it's going to be another good meeting. It shouldn't be any different than all the other meetings we've attended. I think that to educate the people, that's a great thing, and it's been spreading, and people are really understanding what we have to say, and I think it's going to go great.
Well, truthfully, it's been a long week. I'm really tired. I got to make a living on so many other things, and here we are yet again, our sixth weekend. It's 12:20. We're waiting for a cab in Fort St. John. So what can I say? So I mean, but I'm excited about tomorrow. We've said we committed to this as part of the coalition, and at least we've shown everyone we're going to keep our commitments. And I think I've got a lot of phone calls from people in the region. I was here this week earlier. Had some interesting conversations. I think it's going to be a really neat, really interesting session for sure.
All right, well, I guess what time is the meeting tomorrow?
2 o'clock.
Okay, well, it's going to be interesting, and hopefully it's going to be well attended. We're in Dawson Creek. There's a picture of Louis Riel on the wall. There's some famous other folks, Dan George. Obviously, there's a lot of icons here. What kind of spirit would you like to get from them to guide this meeting today?
I think we have to really look into our historical past and, really examine where we're going, so hopefully this meeting will be a good turnout.
Yeah, and Dawson Creek's a pretty pivotal place for the Métis Nation.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of Métis people here, and we'll see how many people that we got to come to this meeting today.
Are you kind of hoping you might see some leadership develop amongst the grassroots so that it can be a widespread vision for the future of Métis in British Columbia?
Well, I think this sessions that are happening across the province is really helping Métis dialogue across the province, and I'm really happy to be seeing what the comments out there.
Good. Well, it's showtime. We look forward to it. Thank you.
So thank you for joining us here this afternoon. We certainly acknowledge and thank the Nowkin Friendship Center for allowing us to use the facility. Before we get started, we are going to ask for an opening prayer, and we have a volunteer who agreed to start us today with an opening prayer. So we'll call on Arlene Laboucaine to start the meeting off with a prayer.
We could join hands. Creator, we just ask for your guidance today. We ask you to help us understand what's happening. We ask you, Creator, to look at each and every person that's here today and let them say what's in their heart and what their concerns are. We ask you to make us strong again as a Métis person, as a Métis community, and the Métis organization. We ask you, Creator, to always bring us back into the middle of this circle and see what we're fighting for. We're fighting for our children. We're fighting for our elders. We're fighting for housing. We're fighting for people that are losing their children because of poverty. We're fighting here for the poor people, education that are within our communities. We ask you again, Creator, to make us a strong individual so we can help other people, all my relations.
I'm going to do a song by Patsy Cline called If I Could See Through the Eyes of a Child. If I could see the world through like a lovely work of art. It would warm my weary heart just to see through the eyes of a child. I could see right or wrong, I could see good nor bad, I could see all the good things in life I've never had. If I could see the world through the eyes of a child, what a wonderful world this would be. It would be a wonderful world.
So thank you, Arlene, and thanks for the warm welcome, and Marilyn for the song, and of course our elder Arlene for the opening prayer. We are here today is the Coalition of Concerned Métis Citizens, and I don't know if folks have been following or not. We've organized regional sessions on our own. We're doing this on our own money, our own time, and sacrificing being throughout the province because we have concerns about our nation and a number of things. I really think Arlene's prayer and the opening song were very touching for me because I think that no matter the political differences we might have as individuals, there's serious issues facing our nation in our opinion, and we hope today that we can provide you insight as to why we're saying what we're saying. There's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of negative rhetoric, and that's fair enough. That's politics. I accept that. I've certainly been around long enough to know that you're never going to stop that. But what I have learned is that if we really want to help people understand what our message is, we needed to come out to the communities. So that's why we've organized and done this. I mean, nothing else. There's not an election today. I'm not here to seek your votes. The Coalition of Concerned Métis Citizens is not a legal entity. We're not trying to beat out the MNBC. But what we care about is that we think that there's things that have to be discussed and addressed. And there's got to be open dialogue. The whole point of these sessions was to have open dialogue. And so if you don't like what we're saying, fine, fair enough, we accept that. But we hope that you'll at least give us a chance to talk about what the issues are and put the personal stuff that we hear all throughout this province aside. I can say confidently that the reason why we're videotaping this, so I apologize if it seems like it's intrusive, the reason why we're videotaping is because Daryl and I have now been sued on 2 separate cases by the MNBC, and that's fine, I accept that. But we are taping it for our own safety, and if we end up in court over these very sessions, we want to make sure that we know exactly what was actually said and not gossip and rumor. I have people phoning my employers. I've got people trying to get me, kicked off contracts. I do many things. I run my own consulting business, and by a lot of ways, I consider myself reasonably successful in that world. I accept that's going to happen. I don't hold any grudges, but what I do want to do is let people know what our message is. And today this is it. It takes about an hour. We've been through 5 regions. This is the 6th. And if anyone's been onto our website and followed it at all, I can assure you that there's a lot of people that feel the same as we do today. So your presidents are your voice at the Métis Nation Governing Assembly. Those presidents need to take your voice forward about what are the issues and concerns. We completely support the structure of the Métis Nation BC. The governance was set up. There's flaws, there's imperfections, but it's like that way in all Aboriginal communities. But we do hope you'll think carefully about it. Talk to your family, talk to your community members, talk to your leadership, and make sure that they know how you stand on these issues. And that's all we can do. We're not going to do this forever. The Coalition has been doing this 18, 20 months. We're not going to do this forever. We'll just keep volunteering. Just for my personal, so you guys know, I am a Métis citizen, proud Métis citizen. I'm from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan originally. I've been involved in the community, I guess you could call it that, since I was a little kid.
Manitoba, born there, and I am also a proud Métis, also a citizen of the nation. I also am a vice president of the Vancouver Métis Cultural Society in Vancouver. And first and foremost, I am just a Métis citizen, okay? And I'm doing this really because I care. Again, I'm volunteering my time, my finances. No one's paying me to do this. I'm really quite concerned about the nation right now. I mean, I'm saddened by what's going on now. And I do believe in the MMBC structure, so I'm not against that. I'm against our present leaders and how they're carrying on, and they're not being accountable to us. And and that's the purpose of this, is to educate people, to show them the issues, what we're saying. We believe we're right, but everybody has their own opinion, and they're entitled to that. And I would stand up for free speech and free opinion, although I'm being sued for my free speech.
Mail articles and everything else, you have to ask yourself, is there going to come a day when someone comes and locks the doors? And what does that mean? Yeah, you're right. The improvement loan, MNBC borrowed $2.2 million just for the school to buy it, and they actually did an improvement loan of $800,000. Seems to have been used in breach of the lending terms. There's only been minimal cost, and the taxes, which will bring us about $3.3 million. We're going to be in big trouble and we might be better off to, declare bankruptcy and try and start anew, because I don't know how we'll ever pay that money back. So, and I just want to provide two other quick things if I can, and I apologize. The financials, I want to just show people where I got this information, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm here spouting off without the facts behind us. This is the MNBC's annual report. This is it's page 67 of that annual report. You can see clearly here, it's signed by Bruce Dumont and Dave Hodgson, the president, vice president. You'll see the comparative statements. This is the front financial summary on page 67 of the opening of the financials. The debt is this line right here. We went from $476,605 in 2008-2009 to $1.788,932,000 in 2009-2010. So we didn't make that up. We used their documents. We analyzed their information. The other side of it, I think it's important, is I referred to a couple of notes in these statements in the administration. I'm going to just quickly show you the admin and then the notes. On the notes, this is their combined statement of revenue and expenses, program by program. If you go through their annual report, it was on their website. I don't think it's on there anymore. This is the admin line right here. It's page 77 or whatever it is. You'll see there's an admin, and it talks about note 12 there. So their admin up here, they brought in revenue in that last fiscal year of $1,080,000. They spent $2,046,000. So that's how they got the admin overrun of $965,762. So that's themselves. That's on their own stuff. Previous years, they didn't do that. In fact, the previous year, the admin, they brought in $1,746,000. They spent 1.722. They actually had a small surplus. So within 12 months, they went from at least running the books, I guess, reasonably well to, you'll see there's a drop in the admin. But as a business, their fiduciary responsibility is that if there is a drop, just like you would do in your personal finances, you don't spend more. You have their right till the end of their term and what's going to be left. They're not going to get out of debt anytime soon.
They're going to dig it further, but I mean, they're going to lose their government funding and what others. They might still get the training dollars, but any other government.
I thought a lot about this, and I just think that it's up to us as citizens to fight for what we need to fix this. That's why I'm doing this. People have criticized me for not trying to destroy the nation. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'm not trying to destroy them. I'm trying to save the nation. People have to understand that. I believe in the Métis Nation. I'm one of the people that helped build it, did lots of community work for many years. But if we don't fight for this, and my big fear and my experience tells me what happened in Saskatchewan years ago, when these structures fall, boy, it'll be on the mat for a while.
Yeah.
And then communities, if they thought it was what limited we had before, it'll get worse. Trust me. I've seen provinces where it is gone, and even today Saskatchewan really isn't. It's a shadow of what it used to be at one time.
You've just had the 1-hour presentation. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, I think this is finally somebody telling the truth about what's going on and why the local communities are not seeing a dime. We don't get a dime in funding, and we try to keep our services going with volunteers. And they get burnt out. Now it's just about where our doors are almost closed because people are burnt out. And plus, we owe them $1,000 a month rent since last January, over a year now. So that's what, $12,000. And we lost our funding from the Lottery Corporation, so we don't have the money to pay.
So are you angry?
I'm angry. You bet I'm angry.
Are you going to do something about it?
There's no support there. I don't know what I can do about it. I used to be a political person. I started originally in 1986, just right after the first constitutional, when they changed to the Metis in the Constitution. And I don't know if I have the energy other than to say I hope younger people get involved and get angry like they did in Egypt.
You sat through an hour presentation. What were your thoughts?
Well, it was very interesting to hear what the man had said. There was so many things like he was saying that people just don't know of, and I was very impressed on the background and the things that he had looked up and showed us here today.
So what do you think that you can do? Can you call the president before they go down there? Can you kick some butt, as they used to say?
I would like to kick butt, but you can't do it on your own, I don't think. It would be nice to have a few people behind you so that everyone can get the full picture of what's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You've sat through an hour presentation. What are your thoughts now?
Well, it's just interesting to hear, some of the offbeats of, where our Aboriginal Métis dollars are going. So it's kind of interesting to hear the two sides of the coin.
Yeah. What do you think about that size of a debt? Does that concern you?
I have no comment.
Yeah. Do you feel at all that it can be rescued? Are you optimistic about the Métis Nation of British Columbia?
I just do not have any comment on that aspect, but I know that there need to have some resolution and maybe some healing on both sides.
I have nothing to say right now.
Are you shocked?
Yes and no.
Are you angry?
No. No, I'm not angry. I've been away for a while, so. No, the president said said not to say anything.